Lance, come on up. We welcome Lance Barrow and John Madden to say a few words of remembrance today.
I've thought many times since 1976 why the good Lord, why I was so lucky to be blessed. On that fateful day on Monday, I went out to the Colonial Country Club and I asked Chuck Will, the right-hand man for the legendary Frank Chikinian, if I could work for CBS Sports. Never looked at me, shook my hand, and said, "Son, come back on Thursday and I'll find you something to do." Showed up on Thursday morning, walked into the office at CBS at Colonial, and he said, "Son, I'm going to do something that's going to maybe change your life forever." The guy that usually works for Pat Summerall is not going to be here this week. So I'm going to put you on the 18th tower with Pat. And I thought, wow, I'm a junior in college at Abilene Christian University. What am I going to do? On the way out of that office, he said, "Young man, I'm going to tell you something else. You're not going to meet a man like this in this business very often." As I said, it was 1976, and I still have not met a man like Pat Summerall in our business. As a matter of fact, I can almost say I have not met a man like Pat Summerall in any kind of business. He was always kind. He always had time for you. He always made sure that you were the most important person in the room. And he was the top of his field. As I read all the tributes, as I read all the stories since Tuesday afternoon, I read about his childhood. I read about his career at University of Arkansas, his career in the NFL, his career at CBS Sports and Fox. But one thing that jumped out of every tribute and every story that I read and heard about Pat Summerall was about how he turned his life around many years ago and how he's a born-again Christian. And I tell you, I experienced it firsthand. 2008, I asked Pat to come speak at Abilene Christian University on our 100th year anniversary, celebrating our school. Many people thought that he was going to come in and tell us stories about being a pro athlete, which he did. Many people thought he was going to come in and talk about his career in television. He did a little bit of that. But at a school that raises the great preachers and great ministers and the great Bible scholars, all of a sudden he started speaking about his life with Christ. And on that last thing before he sat down, a crowd of about 500 or 600 people in this auditorium, he told a story about Reggie White, the great Christian Defensive Hall of Fame lineman. And he said at this game he was playing against this rookie. And he said that the teammates of this rookie told him, whatever you do, if you go in and really start getting on Reggie White, he will forget about everything he's doing and just take care of you. First series happens, Reggie White goes after this rookie after he had called him every name in the book. On the way back to the defensive line, he looked at this rookie and he said, "Rookie, Jesus is coming." Few more plays happen, same thing happens. He looks at him and says, "Rookie, Jesus is coming." This happens 4 or 5 times in this game. On the last time, he takes this rookie and puts him right back into the quarterback. On the way back to the line, he looks down at this rookie and he says, "Hey, rookie, Jesus is coming, and you're not ready." With that, Pat Summerall looked up in this crowd at Abilene Christian University and heard the greatest ministers in the world preach on that campus. Dead silence. He looked up and he said, "Jesus is coming, and I hope you're ready." You know, I'm going to miss Pat Summerall. He called our family on Christmas morning in that great voice of his, "Mr. Summerall here. We'd like to wish the Barrows a Merry Christmas, Cherry and myself. I called him the morning of the Super Bowl, along with John Madden, my dad, and Chuck Will, to just tell them thank you for what they've done for me. But you know, as today we're supposed to celebrate a great life, especially a man that's in the Lord. And I know because the Lord tells me, Jesus tells me, that we're going to see him again. Because Pat was ready because he knew Jesus was coming. And that's what makes me smile today. It might not be today, and it might not be tomorrow, it might not be for years from now. But because of Pat's influence, I know Jesus is coming. And I want to be ready because I want to see Pat Summerall again. God bless you, Sherry, family, Susie, Jay, Kyle, and y'all's family. You guys are family to us at the Barrows. You meant so much to us, and the relationship has been so great. Love you, and we'll miss him, but we know that he's in a better place, and he's with his Lord because he was ready.